Hey y'all, welcome to Fitting and Homemaking. My name is Sarah, and as you can tell today, we're going to be talking about meal planning and groceries and eating seasonally and according to sales so that you guys can save money. So I did my meal plan for this week. Let's get right into it, right? If you like this kind of content, please like, subscribe, hit the notification bell. So I know y'all probably can't read this, but I did some meal planning, and we actually start here because I'm doing this on a Friday. Friday night in our family is pizza night, so we usually get some pizza dough from the local pizzeria because it's like $3 for the dough, which is almost what you pay in the grocery store for something similar but way less quality. So tonight we're gonna have spinach pizza. Tomorrow night my parents are coming over to help me watch the kids. It's kind of a difficult time of my cycle emotionally, and my husband's away all day at work. So since we're having them over, we're gonna have some chicken parmesan with some roasted red potatoes and some peas. Sunday is gonna be leftovers day. We have two different birthday parties to go to. One is from 4 to 6, and there are gonna be snacks there, so we probably will have a little bit of a small meal before we go maybe, or like heavy snacks in the afternoon. But that is a 3-year-old's birthday party. And then earlier in the day, I guess we're doing something for my mother-in-law's birthday, but I do not have any details about that yet. All right, up here, Monday we're gonna do burgers, fries, and green beans. On Tuesday, we're having black bean tacos with all the fixings, avocado, all those sorts of things, possibly rice. Didn't think about that. Wednesday night is gonna be chicken with couscous and Brussels sprouts. My kids love chicken and they love couscous, and I want them to get on the Brussels sprouts acceptance train. So we're going to start introducing that to them again. They haven't liked it in the past, but we actually roast it. So I think I might peel more of the little leaves off and make it more like Brussels sprouts leaf chips to get them on board. And then Thursday night, we are going to have breakfast for dinner to make it an easy night. All right. So part of how I came up with these meal plans was that I went ahead, I'm going to put this down because it's awkward to hold it. I went ahead and I went into my local grocery store's app and looked at their weekly ads. So I tend to shop at Lidl for the most part, and then Food Lion some. Lidl is just, it tends to have really good prices on food, and their name brand stuff tends to be pretty decent quality. Like if you look at some of the ingredients in the generic Lidl brand stuff, the ingredients used are actually fewer ingredients than some of the like national name brand stuff. So that pleases me that I'm getting more of like actually real food. And even if things taste a little bit different, they still taste good. They just are different, right? So when I was looking at the app, some of the stuff you see in front of you was on sale. So the chicken breast was on sale for $1.99 a pound. So that's a really good deal on chicken breast. Normally it's $2.69 a pound, and even that is a pretty cheap price for chicken breast in our area. Then beef was also on sale. This grass-fed ground beef that's 93% lean, 7% fat was $5.99 a pound. I haven't seen it that cheap in a really long time. What else was on sale? So we're definitely gonna have a chicken meal, and we're definitely gonna have a beef meal. And you can see that I got a couple of these. My family only needs one per meal. And obviously we cannot take down this much chicken breast in one go. It's my husband and I and my 2 kids who are 2 and 4. And then one night my parents are coming over, so that's just 2 extra people, right? We're not gonna eat this whole thing, so stocking up for the future. We're gonna go through the mozzarella cheese that we have in there. So we got some mozzarella cheese. The cheeses were on sale. What else? The Honeycrisp apples were on sale, and that's my favorite kind of apple. The Cara oranges were on sale. That's my favorite kind of orange. So yeah, those are things that I've kind of meal planned around. The apples and oranges, those tend to be snacks or desserts for our kids. We tend to do like yogurt and fruit for dessert, or for snacks, you know, cheese, apples, and crackers, those sorts of things. So you also see that represented here. The red potatoes were on sale, and my favorite potatoes. Why do I have favorite foods in every category? Anyway, red potatoes, superior potatoes. I really like them. So that's kind of how I determined what we were going to have this week. Although pizza night, we always have pizza night on Fridays, and Tuesday nights is always kind of like a Taco Tuesday situation. But that is how I determined that. And if you notice, the things like Brussels sprouts, so brassicas, Brussels sprouts, broccoli, that sort of thing, those are in season right now, so they tend to be cheaper. Lettuces, spinach, leafy greens, those are cool weather crops, so they tend to be a little bit less expensive now. Apples, you know, they keep very well through the cool months. And oranges, citrus is in season right now too, since it's the winter. So buying seasonally also helps, because that's when you tend to find things that are either less expensive or on sale, because they have a glut of supply, right, that they're trying to get rid of. So let's go through. I told you some of the prices of some stuff, but I have my receipt here. I'm gonna go through. This is pretty much going to be everything we need for the week, except we will, partway through the meal planning week, need to go for a produce run, probably for some more lettuce and for some berries. You notice I don't have any berries here. My kids are berry fiends, just like most little kids are, but we have some in the fridge right now from last week. So midweek will probably be out. It's just they go bad so quickly in the fridge. So we usually do a midweek run. All right, let's look at what we got. So the boneless, skinless chicken breast, normally $2.69 a pound, was $1.99 a pound. The grass-fed beef, normally $7.99 a pound, was $2 off, so that's $5.99 a pound. And I should have gone through here and done the math, so I don't have to do the math on the fly, because it doesn't give me the sale price. It just tells me how much off I got. The red potatoes were $1.50 off. So these were, what's that, $3 for 5 pounds of potatoes. The Cara oranges were $1.40 off. So they're normally, I don't want to tell you in case my math is wrong. I definitely should have done this ahead of time. So they were in the $2.80 range. The Honeycrisp apples, it was 2 for $6, and they're normally $3.49 each. So that's about 50 cents a pound off, or sorry, 50 cents a bag off, not a pound. These are, what, 3-pound bags? Oh, I did buy toilet paper. I already put that in my bathroom because we had 1 roll of toilet paper between 2 bathrooms. But I did get toilet paper, like Lidl brand toilet paper, for $7.99, and I think that was 12 rolls. Yes, it was 12 rolls of toilet paper. Plain yogurt, we have one in there, but my husband makes his own ranch, and he mixes yogurt and mayo, so we go through yogurt quickly. Also, like I said before, usually the kids' dessert is some yogurt with some berries. Sometimes they like to mix applesauce into that as well. The mozzarella cheese, these blocks of cheese, so we're gonna eat the mozzarella cheese that I have in the fridge right now for pizza night. So that's for the chicken parm. And then I got 2 blocks of sharp cheddar because we have just a little bit of cheddar left in there. And my kids use these for snacks, like the crackers. We do apples, cheese, crackers for snacks. It's also really good snack in the car for protein that's not terribly messy, right? But each of these blocks was $1.97 or $1.79. I think it was, where am I? $1.79. So each of these blocks of cheese was $1.79. The Munster cheese, this was not originally on my list, so I did go off the list. But this is my husband's favorite cheese, and these are sandwich slices. So is this 8 ounces? Yeah, 8 ounces of sliced Munster cheese for $1.59. And we do have like sliced turkey lunch meat in the fridge that we got last week that we didn't quite go through. So we can use that for sandwiches, for lunches over the weekend. All right, my kids have been on a crunchy taco shell kick lately. So 12 taco shells were $2, the crunchy ones. The crackers, I got 2 boxes of them. They're $1.55 each box. Oats, over there. That bag was $2.99. And normally they have like the canisters, like the traditional Quaker oats. They didn't have that in the old-fashioned oats, which is the kind that I like to get. So I got this bag. So $2.99 for that bag. Then the oatmeal packets, because I usually put a quarter cup of oats and then one oatmeal packet, because I'm an adult. One oatmeal packet is not enough to satisfy my breakfast appetite when I get up. But putting 2 of the packets in there makes it just way too sweet, okay? So for 10 oatmeal packs, it was $1.79. Pizza sauce for tonight, because I don't think my husband's gonna have time to kind of make any. The pizza sauce is $1.15. Always going through milk, so I got a gallon of 2% milk for $2.19. The Brussels sprouts were $2.98. The lettuce was $1.97. I think that was like a slight sale for them on the lettuce, but it doesn't show it on here. The spinach, bag spinach, $1.87. The honey wheat bread over there is $1.79. So we use that for toast in the mornings, or sometimes French toast when my kids are feeling fancy. Sandwiches, I'm trying to think. That's pretty much it. Toast and sandwiches are pretty much what we use the bread for. And then my mom tax, because going to the grocery store, I can do it pretty quickly, but I want a little reward for doing that. So my general reward that I choose is this Lidl brand raspberry lime seltzer, and it also encourages me to drink a little bit more throughout the day, but this is 95 cents. So I figured that's a reasonable mom tax for going grocery shopping and getting this. So all of this together with tax totaled $76.10. The total savings by shopping their sales was $11.45 off. So for a week, essentially, of groceries, in which I meal planned around things that I knew we already had some of the ingredients for. I planned around the sales that they were having and stocked up based on the sales for future weeks. And then the midweek produce run will probably be about $20, right? Around there, because we'll shop wherever the berries are on sale, and we'll probably need some more lettuce. But those things, berries can cost a lot when you're buying them in bulk, but just doing a refresh of strawberries, raspberries, blackberries, and blueberries, that plus some lettuce, probably gonna run us around $20, right? So that still puts us under $100 for the week, right? So I thought that was a pretty good job for a family of 4. I'll bet, like, really it's more like 3, because my kids don't eat as much as full children yet. I'm sure it's going to get way more expensive over time. We also live in an area that is surrounded by agriculture, so I'm sure some of these prices are far lower than what some other folks, especially in America, are going to be able to find. Like, I live in a suburb right next to a mid-sized city, but as soon as you get out of the suburbs, it's straight farmland, right? We can tell when a hurricane comes through, because then there's no produce, right? Because our produce, for the most part, is locally sourced. Like, I'm sure the apples aren't, and when we buy bananas and those sorts of things, they aren't. But a lot of the stuff can be grown fairly close to where we live. We have a long growing season, and agriculture is a big part of the state's, economic force, right? So I'm happy with this. I'm gonna get the refrigerated stuff back into the fridge, and some of the meat, I'll have to parcel this out. Probably not gonna do it right now since it still has some time on it, but get that stuff in the fridge. I hope this was helpful to you. Definitely check your local food sales ads before you do your meal planning. Shop from your pantry, shop from your fridge, shop from your freezer, right? Stock up when there's stuff on sale that is a good sale, right? And buy things that you're gonna eat, right? I mean, it's always good to try new things, but make sure that there are at least a few things on the plate each night that your kids are gonna eat, that you're gonna eat, right? The Brussels sprouts, my husband and I both love roasted Brussels sprouts. We haven't had them in a long time, so we will need to encourage our kids' palates to appreciate them to a certain extent, I'm sure. But that'll be it for today's video. If you liked it, please give it a thumbs up. If you want more similar content to this with budgeting, with eating seasonally, with, shopping sales, and with meal planning, I am doing a no buy month for myself, and my husband and I have talked about lowering our grocery bill, so making sure that we meal plan is a very large part of that, right? If you like that kind of content, please subscribe, please hit the notification bell, and I will see you the next time. Bye.